All right. So we need to look at what a graph of a radical looks like. Just like quadratics, where your basic parent function was x squared, radicals have a basic parent function, and it is the square root of x. Okay, so can I plug in -2? No. Can I plug in any negative number? So your table starts with x, the smallest x you can have is 0. Well, when I plug in 0, I get, what's the square root of 0? 0. We can plug in 1. What's the square root of 1? I'm going to skip over 2 and 3 because they're not perfect squares. So we're going to jump to 4, and the square root of 4 is? You're squaring 4, not taking the square root when you said 16. Okay. What's the last one we can do then? We jump from 4 to 9. The square root of 9 is 3. Okay, so that means my graph of a radical has a point at 0, 0, 1, 1, 3, 4, comma 2, 7, 8, 9, comma 3. Bam. It's a wing.
Right. So what?
It's a wing. They call this the wing. The wing function. Okay, it looks like a bird's wing. Okay, you know, back when you were elementary school and you did the whole, this is a bird.
Boy, we did. I'm telling you, I still do that.
Okay.
I was a pro at drawing them. I swear to God.
Everybody wants to draw their birds and their footballs.
Okay. So let's see what happens. Oh, hold on, back up. So my smallest value of x you told me was 0. So that means my domain is x is greater than or equal to 0. It can't be any smaller than that. My range, what's my smallest y value I have? 0. So that means my range is also greater than or equal to 0. Okay. All right. Let's see what happens when I put a 3 up front. Oh, geesh. Okay. So when x was 0, we plugged in 0. Well, now I've got a 3 up front. So we have the square root of 0, which we said was 0, times 3, which is 0. That point doesn't move. X was 1. So now we have 3 times the square root of 1, which is 3.
3. I did that.
We plugged in 4. So what's 3 times the square root of 4?
4.
Whoa. Hold up. What is the square root of 4? 2 times 3 is 6. Right. 9. What's 3 times the square root of 9? 9. The square root of 9 is 3, and 3 times 3 is 9.
Y'all work fast. Give me a chance.
We gotta work fast today.
Right. Dang it.
We're not working that fast.
You are. I want to answer, and I can't even answer.
What?
All right, we can slow down just a little bit.
Just so I can say answer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so this graph is 0, 0, 1, comma 3, 2, 3, 4, comma 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, comma, it's going to be above the graph, 9, comma 9.
Nice, nice.
Whoa!
That's pretty. I'm kidding. It's not. It's really ugly.
You remember fat norm and skinny
I thought I was
norm?
going to say north.
Okay, this is a vertical stretch. It's getting tall. Okay, this is a vertical stretch. Okay, just like your quadratic, it does the same thing. What's my domain here?
I don't even know how to calculate.
What's my smallest x value?
X is greater than 0,
0, and it's getting bigger or smaller? Bigger. So x is greater than or equal to 0. Your range. Whoops. Y. Y is greater than or equal to 0. Again, it starts at 0 and it's going up to 9.
Did we do that?
It was the same thing. Cool. So multiplying does not affect your domain and range. Let's see what happens when I multiply by a negative. So again, we started at 0. So what's negative 2 times the square root of 0? Then we want four. Negative 2 times the square root of 4. Beautiful. And 9. Negative 2 times the square root of 9. Okay, so we've got 0, 0. 1, negative 2. 4, negative 1, 2, 3, 4. 6, 7, 8, 9. You can't plot points without looking at me doing it?
No, I can, but
Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh! What happened?
it went down.
It flipped upside down. You remember when I made x squared, negative x squared, and my smiley face went to a frowny face?
Yeah.
Did the same thing. I made your a value negative, so it reflected it across the x-axis. So let's look at domain and range here. My domain, x. Is it going up or down?
And then it went to 0.
Greater than or equal to 0. It's getting bigger. It's going 0, 1, 4, 9. Y.
Less than or equal to 0.
Less than or equal to. Now I'm going down instead of up. Less than or equal to 0. Questions on domain and range and where it came from with this one?
I feel like
Is domain and range a little easier with this than it was with quadratic?
Yes. Definitely.
Is it? Why is it to the left? For,
No, I just feel like it's good. Like,
It's getting smaller,
Oh,
so it's getting less than 0. Does that make sense? Okay, 2 more. Okay. Take a look at this one. Remember, when I had x squared and plus 4 was on the outside, what did it affect? What did it do to my graph? If I added 4 on the outside, it wasn't in the parentheses.
you
We changed the y, right?
Changed your y, it moved it either up or down. So let's see what happens. So again, we plug in 0. I get the square root of 0 plus 4.
4.
I plug in 1. The square root of 1 plus 4. I plug in 4. The square root of 4 plus 4.
6.
And I plug in 9. The square root of 9 plus 4, 7. So my y's used to go 0, 1, 2, 3. 0 plus 4. This one moved up by 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 4. Every point moves up by 4. Okay. So we've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 5. 4, 6. And 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7. Did I? Oh, because I put this on 3 instead of 4. Dang it. 4. This is wrong. My bad. This is wrong. I counted wrong. Okay. So when I look at my table, what's my domain now? X is greater than or equal to 0. What's my range now? Greater than or equal to greater than or equal to 4. Make sure range is Y. If they give you choices of X, I guarantee you, if they say, what's the range of this? They're going to give you X is greater than or equal to 4, or Y is greater than or equal to 4. Make sure you're paying attention. Domain is X, range is Y. And it's getting bigger from 4, so it's greater than or equal to 4.
One more.
Last one. Okay.
Changes the X.
This changes my X. So we're going to be a little bit more careful with this one because I want my Y's not to change. Okay. So I want my Y's to go back to the original 0, 1, 2, and 3. Okay.
0, 1, 4.
That's what I thought, right?
No. Hold on. Go back to.
Oh, that was on the X side. I don't know what's right.
Oh.
Here was your original.
Okay.
That was the X. We want our Y's to be the same because our X's are going to change now because Jackie said, oh, my -3's on the inside, so it's going to move it left or right. So my X's are what's going to change. What do I plug in here to make the square root equal to 0? 3. The square root of 3 minus 3 equals 0. Because I need to get the square root of 0 to get a 0.
So 3 on that side.
So that's a 3. This time I want a 1 underneath the square root. So 4 minus 3 gives me 1. So my X value is 4. Okay. I need my square root to be 2. So I need a 4 underneath of there. 7 minus 3 gives me 4. And finally, I want the underneath of that to be 9. So I get the square root of 3. 12. Okay. Okay, I'm going to borrow yours for 1 second so I can do a comparison here. All right. So my original numbers were 0, 1, 4, and 9. I'm now at 3, 4, 7, and 12. How did my graph move?
It went up 3.
Not up.
Right, 3.
It went to the right by 3. So remember, when it's inside the parentheses for quadratics, it moved it to the right or left. And if it was negative, it actually moved it to the right. If it was positive, it actually moved to the left. Guess what? It didn't change. Just because I change what the graph looks like does not change the rules. This will continue on for absolute value, okay? Thank you. So let's graph these. You're not going to be able to graph that last one. It's way off the graph. 3, 0, 4, 1, 5, 6, 7, 2. That last one, again, is going to be way off the graph. What's my domain and what's my range here? X is greater than or equal to 3, and Y is greater than or equal to 0. Questions?
Yeah, that was actually easy one I was doing. I started doing it, I was like, this could be
Not
so
that
hard.
bad.
I don't wanna go to school.
Too cool for school.
And it's 228.
Look at that.
It's super off the.
What is this? What's this thing?
The last one. I told you you're not going to be able to graph it.
We just finished.
Okay. This glues in on 121. Okay. We're going to somewhat do this one. What we do not finish, I need you to finish on your own. Okay. And you have an IXL. But this time you're going to Algebra 1. Okay. We're going to step it back to Algebra 1 because I want to focus more on domain and range. So those of you that are at levels, that's level K. Jackie, level K.
Really?
Okay.
You had to call me out later?
Huh?
You had to call me out?
You have it. Allie has it. There's a couple of people in here.
You have to?
The people that are at levels, it's level K, and it's
I thought anybody
Is
could hear
this
you.
the only thing that's being glued on 121?
yes, level K, and you're doing FF.2. Make sure you have that written down. Level K, FF.2.
Yeah.
Level K, FF.2.
Okay.
Okay.
Send it to me real quick. Me too.
Send it to me too.
What?
K2. I don't know.
Oh, I'll send in the group chat.
What is K2? Yeah, we don't even.
I think it's this side of us. I have a pee.
Not a P.
Yeah, I got a pee on those.
Okay. So
No.
we will try to get as much done as we can on this. Or if you really think after about 2 of them, your eyes are going to be like, Miss Smith, this is super easy. Just let me do this. Leave me alone. Okay. So you need to match each one of these with a graph.
Oh.
Okay. So you're going to glue. Technically, I wanted you to cut all these out, but we really don't have time to do that. So we can put this on 122 and the other one on 123. And then we'll just kind of talk about it, and you can put the letter that goes with each number or the number over with the letter. Okay, so what I want you to do is focus on each one of these. Okay, so this left-hand side, how is my graph moving? To the right by 1.
Teachers, at this time, the students that are coming to the athletic signing, please dismiss them to the auditorium. Students, please make sure you're on your best behavior. Also, you should be appropriately dressed. No hats, do-rags, cell phones should be put up for this event.
What does that say?
Horizontal line at. Okay, so my curved graph should move to the right by 1, and it should match a horizontal line at 1. Because when y equals 1, that's a horizontal line at 1. So you need to look at your graphs, find your one that moved to the right by 1, and a horizontal line at 1. That's going to be F. My graph moved to the right by 1, and it's a horizontal line at 1. So your answer here is 1, 2. Okay. That is all you're doing. Okay. So you've got this, and you've got your IXL. Okay.
What's the IXL number?
Algebra 1 or level K, FF.2. Okay. All right. Pack it up. and head down to the auditorium. Let me see what